Hey, this is Hayden again. Coming at you this time with another piece that I get asked a ton of questions about, the Angel's Blade or Angel Sword from Supernatural. Now, these are all made out of metal. This is a solid aluminum rod. It's been basically this part's turned on a lathe, and then this part's ground down to the correct three-sided blade. If you notice the end of it here, you zoom in just a little bit. End of it is rounded off. It's not sharpened. Now the edges are flat, but I decided to square this little piece off here, mainly because when it was the prototype had a needle point to it, and it would draw blood. It was a very sharp, very pointy piece of metal, and after a while I figured out that if this was rounded off here, then it basically is a little more stable whenever you use it for displaying things. It tends to work out a little better. Now, as I mentioned, it's all one piece, but you'll notice a line here, and thanks to the bright spot here for the fluorescent, you'll notice another little line here. That's where this particular piece was removed. And then once the polishing and the blade shape was finished up, this was put back and welded into place. So it's still all one chunk of metal. It's still all one very large piece. It's a beautiful sword. I love it. But it's just, it's not sharpened. I didn't do any kind of edging to the sides because I didn't want to try to make a weapon so much as I was trying to make a replica. If for some reason you're wandering around and you decide you need to crack someone across the head, you will draw blood because it is flat metal and it is aluminum. But it's a pretty nice piece. Most of the questions I get are related to either is it all one piece, is it all metal, is it sharp? And the answer is it's all one piece, it's all metal, it's not sharp. Now, what I would say is take the same ideas that you use with the Ruby Dagger or any piece that I offer if you happen to own one of these, and that is be responsible with it. You know, you wouldn't run around outside waving around an airsoft M16 that looked realistic without expecting to have the cops called. You would not want to run around waving this around in a mall somewhere. It's strictly a display item. Since it's metal, I don't even think they'll allow these in conventions most of the time, regardless of it not being sharp, because it's basically a big metal bat. It'll go through a car door. It's a solid chunk. It's about, like I said, it's about 2 pounds. Let's see. I did get this one made on the last order that I did, and it is the same. It's a copper plated aluminum blade, and as you can tell, it's just a tiny bit different. This section here is a little more squared off than this section. You can still see the lines where the guard was met, but apparently on this one they did a little bit better job when we finished it up. So that's kind of nice. But this one's just copper with no lacquer. I wanted to get a nice verdigris finish to it. I want it to age. I think it'll look pretty cool. There's no lore behind a copper bladed anything. It's just interesting. People say things like copper is a metal, kills everything. So I figured, hey, as an angel blade, it will probably kill everything too. So this piece as well, squared off at the top, came out looking pretty good. So, but like I said, that's this is the Angel Blade. I don't offer these with a sheath, so I don't have any warnings about sheath rust. The reason is when you have a three-sided blade, any sheath that you make is going to look like a pouch, and to be honest, it's going to look crappy. So I decided not to worry about it. We never see a sheath in the show. Say that 3 times fast. And there's nothing to base it off of to say it's accurate or not. It's just, you know, the actors will carry it around in the sleeve when they need it, and they'll have a scene where it drops down into their hand, and they'll use it then. but there's never been a case of it being shown anywhere but maybe the trunk of the car. So no sheath or anything like that. But anyway, if you have any questions about this or any comments, anything like that, feel free to leave them below. I'll have a video coming up soon showing off a different setup that I have for the same particular piece, but for more of a specialized reason. So now I'll delve into that mystery a little bit later on. But again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. I'll do my best to answer. Hope y'all have a great one, and I will hopefully have y'all checking out my other videos later. Thanks.